All right, let's get into the show. Speaking of research, Business Insider did a little research today on Tom Brady, or recently on Tom Brady. And Rob, they estimated that Brady, for all the years in New England where he took, less money, had his contract restructured, took far below market value over his 20 years in New England, that he left somewhere between $60 and $100 million on the table just to play in New England. Now, I got my own thoughts on this, which I'm sure you have some idea of, but I want yours. Did Tom Brady make a mistake by leaving $60 to $100 million on the table? And let's just assume that meant he would have been elsewhere. He would have gone somewhere else and, played somewhere else and made more money, but not been in New England. What's your thoughts?
Of course he made a mistake. I've been saying it forever. Tom Brady should wear the NFL dunce cap for leaving that kind of money on the table. And you know what? You can poo-poo it and talk about, oh, well, what's the difference between another $60 or $100 million? There's a huge difference. And that's why at the end, Tom Brady decided he all of a sudden wants to get paid because he realized how dumb it was. It was a dumb thing. And not only that, he also hurt his brethren. And I'm talking about the other players in the NFL who owners used as an example. Look what Tom Brady's doing. He's taking less. He's about the team. That never should have happened. Nobody's asking for Tom to break the bank, but Tom Brady should have, Chris, gotten what his value was. And that way he doesn't have to go to Tampa Bay and wear that ugly uniform for 2 years because all of a sudden Tom wants to get paid like he feels he should. He made a mistake. You should never do that. Nobody's saying that it's a foregone conclusion, Chris, that he would have had to go somewhere else. Maybe they would have cut some other star. Maybe they would have done something else. It's their job to figure that out. That's not your job. What is the budget? You got to make it all work, and you got to figure it out. I believe if Peyton Manning didn't get hurt, he would have still been there. He would have been there. And I think that when he got hurt, it made it easier for them to move on from him. But all I'm saying is Tom should never take a hometown discount. It always winds up biting you in the butt at the end when you feel like I did all this sacrifice. I did everything they asked me to do. I was the team player. I was a team guy. And at the end, they said, oh, thanks. And we don't even offer you a contract after you gave up 20 years of your life, sent them to the Super Bowl 9 times, did everything they asked, and you still had to hit the door had to hit you in the ass on the way out. So Tom Brady, again, the biggest NFL dunce going. You can't leave that kind of money on the table.
Wow. First of all, I happen to like the Tampa Bay Buccaneers uniforms. The orange, the red, the gray, whatever the colors are, brown, whatever it is in there. The pewter, is that what it is? Their uniforms aren't that bad. You've been giving them a bad rap. The orange, the pops, what was it? Creamsicle and white uniforms. They were okay. That's number one. Secondly, stop it. How in the world are you going to say Tom Brady made a mistake when he's got 6 rings and he's rich beyond his wildest dreams as it is? He's still Rob Parker for all the discounts. He still has made more money in his career than Eli Manning, than Peyton Manning, than Aaron Rodgers, than every other quarterback who's ever played the game except Drew Brees. Every single one of them. And Brees just is a $9 million ahead of him. Tom Brady's made, with his new contract that's $50 million guaranteed, $285 million over his career. I get $60 million, $100 million. Yeah, that's nice. But Tom Brady has more money than he could ever spend. Not to mention his wife, who was the highest paid model in the world from 2002 to 2017. So he's got money to burn. He's got money that his kids and their kids won't be able to spend away. And my thing is, I am assuming if he had not been willing to play for less, to do what he did, he would not be in New England and he would not have 6 rings. So I ask you, Rob, would you rather be the second highest paid quarterback of all time and have 6 championship rings and be viewed as the GOAT? Even though in a vacuum, we could put Peyton ahead of him. We could put Aaron Rodgers ahead of him. We could put Dan Marino ahead of him. We could go on and get several guys that in a vacuum, we might put ahead of Tom Brady. But because of his great accomplishments, because of his winning, he is recognized widely as the GOAT. And he's the second highest paid quarterback of all time. There's no way he made a mistake. And your other point about he hurt his brethren, no, he didn't, because no one else was doing that. It didn't hurt Matt Stafford because he ended up being the highest paid quarterback at one point and getting more than Brady. It didn't hurt Jimmy Garoppolo, who was his own teammate. They could have easily said to him, hey, I mean, you just sat behind Tom Brady and you saw what taking less money did for him. Why don't you do it? It didn't hurt him. Russell Wilson, Carson Wentz, Jared Goff, we could go on and on.
Ask Dak Prescott if what Tom Brady did hurt him. Ask Dak Prescott.
We can ask Dak, but I just gave you a litany of names.
I'm giving you
where
Dak
it didn't
Prescott
hurt them,
that they want
and I
him
don't
to
know.
take
I don't
less.
think that's hurt Dak.
Yes,
I mean,
it is.
That's speculation. I don't even want to get into Dak right now. But my point is, Tom Brady did the right thing because he ended up having the greatest he's viewed as the greatest football player ever. I don't believe that. I believe he's the greatest quarterback, not the greatest football player, but many people say the greatest football player. What other legacy could you want on top of $300 million? I mean, come on.
That has nothing to do with financial, and this is
it
the
does,
reason.
because maybe
this is the reason you're talking out of both sides. But you're talking out of both sides of your mouth, and you won't even acknowledge that Tom Brady left all that money. I mean, almost $100 million, Chris, to just act like it doesn't matter. If money didn't matter to Tom Brady, he wouldn't have to get the $50 million in Tampa. He could have said, "I'm rich, my wife's rich, we got more money than God. We can just stay in New England, play a couple more years. How much you want me to sign? How much will this help the team? Let's go out and get some other players." No,
it doesn't
Chris,
have to be breaking the bank. It doesn't have to be breaking the bank and getting every last dime or playing for the league minimum.
Chris, the story out of Boston says that this was about money.
That's fine.
You discount that or not? I'm asking.
So you think Tom Brady would be happier being the highest? He's already second highest paid. Being the highest paid quarterback ever, but have maybe one championship, maybe
but
3 championships
that.
instead
That's
of
you
6.
just throwing that out there.
I'm asking you.
No, early on when he won 3 out of 4, it was when he was still a young player, not making that much money.
Right.
So that's
let's
not
say
the
he
issue.
had 3.
So
he
would have already
rings.
had 3. That's
say he
good
had
enough.
those 3 rings.
That's good enough.
But no more.
That's good enough.
He wouldn't be recognized as the GOAT.
I would take that, and I would take the extra $100 million that he left on the table. All I'm saying is you can't have it both ways.
I'd rather have 6 and $285 million.
I'd rather have 3
and
$385 million. How about that?
He wouldn't be recognized as the GOAT. He wouldn't be recognized as the GOAT.
He
and
ain't
now
recognized by the GOAT by everybody now, not by everybody.
Everybody but you.
You wishful thinking.
He is. Who else doesn't see him as the GOAT?
Tom Brady.
Joe Montana?
Tom Brady should sit in the corner with the dunce cap on.
Who else doesn't see him as the
GOAT? He made a mistake and he realized it too late.
He didn't make a mistake at all.
That's why he ran to Tampa.
Michael Jordan didn't make more money than anybody, and he's recognized as the GOAT. Brady got more money than his kids. But
people weren't making that kind of money in the NBA at that time when Michael Jordan was making $4 million.
Jordan wasn't even the highest paid player on his team.
I get that, but
4 of his championships.
But I'm talking about not to never in 20 years be the top paid quarterback.
He's the second highest paid quarterback of all time. How could he be playing for pennies?
He was never paid as the top quarterback in football.
Fine, but he's got 6 rings. And don't tell me, if he was so good, he could have went somewhere else and won it. Aaron Rodgers is as good as they get. 1 ring. Peyton Manning was as good as they get. 2 rings. Tom Brady he did the right thing.
It had
6
nothing
rings,
to do with him
great
taking
legacy.
less money.
It
Terrible.
did.
I'm telling you, financially.
And he's still the second highest paid quarterback of all time.
If you want to talk about,
if you can convince me, Rob, that he could have gotten, been the highest paid quarterback and still won 6 Super Bowls, I'm all with you. I'm totally with you. Get your money and win.
You can't convince me that it's not.
Looking back,
that's just
I would
you throwing
take
it
the
out
6
there.
rings and
Tom
a
Brady
little bit less money.
He admitted he made a mistake when he went after the money grab at the end. Because if it wasn't about money, it would be about tradition.
Money grab. Why didn't he
want
to be the highest paid guy?
It was a money grab.
He's getting $25 million a year. That's not a money grab.
Yes, it is.
That's
at age
nothing
43,
for a top quarterback.
At age 43, stop it, Chris.
No, it's nothing. He could have tried. He got a resume enough. He could have been
it's
like,
more than the Patriots were offering. So if he's such a top quarterback, they would have paid him that money if he was still that guy.
Tampa Bay thinks
they
he's
don't
a top
want to
quarterback.
Pay. Tampa Bay paid the bad team tax. They haven't made the playoffs in a baker's dozen years. Or maybe 12.
How about just a regular dozen? 877-99 on Fox. 877-996-6369. Your turn to weigh in. Knowing what we know now, did Tom Brady make a mistake by taking less money in New England all of those years?
Let's jump in. Isaiah in Baltimore. You're on the Odd Couple Fox Sports Radio. Isaiah. Gone.
All right.
Was he there?
You better call back.
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, all right, go ahead.
I'm sorry. So, no, I don't think Tom made a mistake at all. If it is all about wins or and losses, like Rob always says, I just don't understand how 6 Super Bowl rings. The money is the money. Tom Brady is going to make so much money when his career is done from investments. People are always going to want to see Brady commercials.
Isaiah, that's not the issue. That's not the issue.
It is the issue because
no, it's not.
Yes, that is exactly
it's not. Isaiah, that's not the
now
issue.
it's not the issue.
That's not what we're talking about. That's not what we're talking about. His investments and what he does. That's not. It's that he left 60 to 100 million on the table. That's what we're talking about.
Rings.
Justin in Virginia, you're on the Odd Couple Fox Sports Radio.
Hello, how you doing? Yeah, I just want to say, usually I'm with you, Rob, but this time Chris got you because, you know what I mean? He's gonna, like the other guy, Cola said, he said he's going to make that money off the field. Not only with the fact that he won.
Justin, that's not what we're talking about.
Didn't make the money. He got $300 million.
People are going to want his book sale. The fact that he won it in one more game, they're going to want book sales. They're going to want to hear his story.
Nah, that's not what we're talking about.
Without
we're not
rings,
talking about
he's not as marketable.
No, we're not.
Especially
because
if he hadn't won any since 2003
You can't tell
or
me
whatever.
exactly that for sure he wouldn't have 6 rings if he took his
We're
his
assuming
market
if he
value.
didn't take less, he would have been out of there.
No,
went
that's not.
somewhere
You
else.
don't know that. You don't. They would have worked around it. You don't know that.
That's the premise I'm
You
working
don't
on.
know. That's not. That's
the
a
premise
made-up
I'm
premise.
working on.
That's a made-up premise.
Of course, you take as much money as you can get, but the fact is, he got 6 rings.
But
by
that's
doing
not
it the way he did it, and
no,
still
that's
is
not
filthy
it. That's
rich.
why he went to Tampa Bay looking for scratch.
No, he went to Tampa Bay.
Trucker
They wasn't
Don
respecting him.
in Boston. You're on the Odd Couple Fox Sports Radio.
Guys, how's it going?
Good.
We were waiting
Thank
for
you
the
for
honk.
taking my call.
There we
All right,
go.
there it is. There it is.
Thanks for taking my call.
Yep.
How you guys been? I missed you last week. I had so much going on with all that's going on in society. I'm a running fool right now.
So are you on the
Yeah,
road, or are you
it's,
still traveling and moving stuff?
I'm still moving freight, and I'm actually self-imposed into the truck because I've got a son with Down syndrome with bad lungs, so I can't go near him for the next 6 weeks. So I'm stuck in a truck.
Yeah.
Wow.
I don't want to go near my family at all with this.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
understand that.
I can
So
carry it in.
you say stuck in the truck. Are you sleeping in the truck?
Oh, every night. Yes, sir. Yeah,
Wow.
I got a nice big old memory foam mattress in there, and got my TV, got my stereo, so I can listen to you guys every night. Best show on the radio, as
Thank
always.
you.
Well, make
God
room for
bless you,
Tom
man.
Brady. He
That's,
doesn't have enough
heck of a
money to get in a
sacrifice.
hotel.
I was hoping he'd loan me some to buy a bigger bunk.
Yeah, he's in the poorhouse.
That's right.
Go ahead, Trucker Don. What's your
Now-
point?
It is simple. if you go through with the same pay you're making right now, now we know you're worth more money than they're paying you. I don't care what they're paying you, because you guys get the best show on the radio. But if you come out and you start getting Emmy after Emmy, what you got is you've got the respect of all your peers. You're the number one. You're looked up to. The money is going to be there. He made the right. You can't argue with his decision making because he went to 9 Super Bowls with his decision making.
They don't go hand in hand. They don't go hand in hand.
They actually
that's
do.
a false
Well, they
narrative.
do.
They don't. Don, just one question to Don.
It's even proven, Rob, that no quarterback making all that money.
Don, one question to you.
Go ahead.
What is the thing that people hold their hat against for Tom Brady? Tom Brady's done more with less than any other quarterback. So taking less money didn't get him more players. His MO is that he had less.
Well, it just proved the point. He won more Super Bowls with less money than anybody else. So, they proved his point. You made the point. But no, you guys
and we're talking about, Rob, you're talking about skilled position.
Thanks, Don.
But linemen, offensive linemen, defensive players, it's gotten him other players. It didn't get him the great wide receiver for the most part.
We don't have time to squeeze one more in? No? Yes? No?
We got Mike Holly coming.
Marty, let's do Marty in Kentucky. Marty, real quick. You're on the Odd Couple Fox Sports Radio. What's up?
What's up, fellas? I'm going to
What's up, Marty?
I know you don't have a lot of time. We're doing good here, me and River playing a little baseball, but
good.
I do think Tom Brady made a good decision to do what he's done in the past, to do all the winning and all the financial prowess that comes with winning. And now he's also making a good move because he's already got those 6 rings for his GOAT status, and the only thing he needs to stack on top of that, especially with him being a little bit behind Breeze, and Breeze playing 1 more year, and him signing for 2 more years, is a place with a lot of weapons that he can rack up his individual stats to stack on top of his winning to have more people just say, hey, this guy's the GOAT. So I think he's making a lot of smart moves.
I'm with you. Good call, Marty, as always.
Marty, put the moonshine down there in Kentucky.
Was the Tom Brady-Bill Belichick relationship as bad in person as some in the media are making it out to be? Former Patriots tight end Ben Watson has the answer next. Ben, welcome to the Odd Couple.
What's happening?
Yes, Rob, how you doing?
We are great, man.
Doing
How
good.
are you? How's your family? You guys safe? Everything's good?
We are well, thank you. Actually, today we got a surprise snowstorm here in Boston, so we went outside and made about 5 snowmen, came out of nowhere. But, with it being March and being stuck inside with Corona, of course it's going to snow, in March.
Right,
so.
yep. right. Well, there ain't enough snow to build snowmen. Wow.
Yeah, I was going to say, and I'm sure the kids wanted to just get out a little bit and get some fresh air.
Oh, definitely. We were all out there. They like to attack me in the snowball fights, but that's part of the fun.
You can't win that. Don't you have? Is it 7 children now?
I got 7, but 2 of them aren't walking yet, so I just got to deal with 5 right now, and they keep getting stronger and taller as I get older and weaker.
You got to keep going. You need. Let me see. You need 3 more to get 2 basketball teams. You need 3 more.
Well, we got a basketball team, man. We got 2 subs, so I think we're good.
You can roll to the park ready.
That's right.
Well, Ben, look, we obviously want to get into some of the talk with Tom Brady leaving the Patriots, but before we go there, you were on the executive committee for the union. Let me ask you, while you played, did you think, obviously the players voted to accept the collective bargaining agreement as it was presented by the owners, a week or 2 ago? Did you agree with that? Did you think the players made the right call, or were you wanting them to hold out for a different deal?
Well, I think collectively our players always make the right call, and I'm going to stand behind them. This bargaining process has been a long, arduous, lengthy one. One that started a couple of years ago and has culminated in what the deal was, kind of the best offer both sides could get together. What I've realized, being in some of those bargaining sessions with ownership and their lawyers, is just that there's a lot of back and forth, and there's a lot that we want that we just weren't able to get, a lot of that they wanted that they weren't able to get from us. And the frustrating thing is you have this list of all your desires that you get from the membership as well as from our team,
and then you come back and you get the final. You get to the final gun, and it's like, well, where's all the stuff that we really wanted? Well, it's a long process, and so one thing I am proud of, though, is I'm proud of the engagement that we had. We had our NFLPA board meetings a couple weeks ago in Miami, where we discussed and linked all of the CBA, all the different sections, and the men were asking questions. We were making phone calls with the other players that weren't there. People were really engaged, and so. This is a deal that gives us football, for the next several years. It's not perfect by any means. The executive committee was split on our vote. The board was split on their vote. Some of the highlights, the 17 games was tough, was something that I didn't agree with. And, I made that known from the get-go. But there were other things that were good in the deal. So, I'm proud of what we've done. I appreciate the NFLPA leadership with DeMaurice Smith. I appreciate all the guys who were involved. And while it's not perfect, I think that a lot of players will benefit from the deal.
Ben, I'm disappointed in the NFL's Players Association for a number of reasons, and I have been for years, especially when it comes to health care and stuff to take care of players more than 5 years after they're out of the game. And the contract didn't even expire till next year, so I didn't understand the rush to get another deal done. And here's the other thing: like 500 players did not vote. How did 500 players not vote for this?
Well, I don't know. You'd have to ask those players. But I will say, Rob, that we did have a lot of involvement. We had a lot of involvement and really in-depth involvement from the guys that were. Look, you're always going to have guys that are in and out of the league, guys that may have been on the roster that really may not be on one next year. And then you have some guys, frankly, that may not have cared. I mean, that happens in our general elections. That happens when we talk about politics. In any organization, that's what it's going to be. So there are always going to be some guys there. As far as the health care goes, look, I get it. I'm going to be 40 years old this year, played in the league 16 years, have had several injuries, including head injuries. I'd love to have health care all the way until I'm done. But what we found is that although it's 5 years, a lot of players do garner health care from subsequent jobs that they have. And a lot of them are covered for medical. We do have medical that's covered with workers' comps and those types of things. And so we do have health care. Can it be better? I agree with you 100%. Sure, it could be.
Ben Watson joining the I couple. Ben, let's move to football. You had two different stints with the Patriots. One you just ended this past season. Talk to us about what you saw in the relationship with Tom Brady and Bill Belichick in your first stint, which was from 2004 to 2009, and then this past year, which was your last stint with them. Was it different? What'd you see in that relationship?
Well, the relationship, really, my relationship, I would say, with Tom was different this time than it was the first time. I felt like I got to know him better in this 1 year than I did in the previous 6 years when I was here before. I think part of the reason was because we were the old guys on the team, so they put us next to us in our lockers, and so we just kind of hung out and we talked a lot about life and about a bunch of other things that had nothing to do with football. As far as his relationship with Bill, it didn't seem much different to me. When I was there the first time, they were never the two guys that I thought would be hanging out, having a beer together, going over each other's house. That's just not how they seemed to me. I've been around a lot of quarterback, head coach duos that have different types of relationships, some of them seemingly a lot closer than Bill and Tom. That being said, they've obviously had a working relationship that has worked tremendously and won a lot of championships. So they're very successful together. And I think there's a mutual respect, even if there's not the go hang out, lovey-dovey type of brotherhood that you may see from a lot of other guys who have been together for that long.
Ben, I always said I could just see the writing was on the wall. I never believed that they wanted him back. I thought Bill Belichick probably finally got a little more power because Tom Brady was hell-bent on 2 years guaranteed and some big money even at age 43, which you'll be this coming season. Did you look at it that way? Because I don't even think there's two reports. One, that they didn't even offer him a deal, and they let him go out to go find what your value is on the market. And then the other one was they only offered him a 1-year deal with a pay cut. So were you? Could you see? Did you know we were going here, that Tom Brady would move on or the Patriots wouldn't want him?
Yeah, I'm not sure what the deals were. No one has told me that. I would say, however, that during the year we knew that he was going to be a free agent. Usually these types of deals happen. If a guy of that caliber is going to stay with their club, it usually happens a little bit earlier. But that being said, it's all going to end for everybody at some point. I don't think you talk about the writing on the wall. The guy's been there 20 years, so at some point he's going to leave either from retirement or from a decrease in his abilities, or they just want to go younger. So as far as him leaving, we honestly didn't know. I didn't know either way. I thought that there was definitely a possibility that he would leave, although it's really strange to see him in another jersey. And I thought that there was definitely a possibility that he would stay for all the reasons that we mentioned, the fact he's been there 20 years, he's won 6 championships, his family's there, all those sorts of things. So we talked about it, but I didn't know either way.
Ben, we got about a minute left. How will Tom Brady change the culture? I read a lot. He's going to change the culture in Tampa Bay in that locker room. How will he do it? And what is it about him that'll enable him to do that?
He is, I remember playing with him for obviously 7 years, and the one thing I noticed, really in my first stint, very much so, is we never thought we would lose a game with him. You have a supreme confidence that even if you're down by 2 touchdowns with 3 minutes left, he's going to help you find a way to win. And not only is he going to make a play, everybody around him is going to want to make a play because there's a certain level of expectations when you take the field with a guy like Tom Brady. And that's what he's going to change for Tampa. There's going to be an expectation that, we go out here, we're going to win. We're going to have a chance to win. And maybe you will, maybe you won't. But as you know, a lot of football is confidence. A lot of it is X's and O's, but a lot of it is just having the confidence that you're going to make a play and you'll be able to outlast the other team. Tampa has great coaches. They've obviously got a roster that is loaded. When it comes offensively as well as defensively, they're very competitive. But in that division, you've got other teams that are competitive, namely one called the Saints that's led by a guy named Drew Brees that is very comparable to a Tom Brady. And so I think for them, it's definitely going to raise everybody's expectations, not only of themselves, but of themselves collectively when they go out and play every Sunday.
That's Ben Watson, folks. Thanks a lot, Ben. We appreciate it. And
appreciate it.
You and your family be safe, man.
That's right.
Anytime. Y'all do the same, all right?
Thank you. All right, brother.